say. We're going to take a look at TransGuide running a little bit behind. We'll be right back after this break.
It's day 2 of the manhunt for the suspect in this latest mass shooting. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in Lewiston, Maine. Coming up, a look at the evidence gathered so far.
Back here at home, a local school district could finally find out who will fill its vacant board seat, but not without some controversy.
And happy Friday, looking out there with live cam. A human start to your day, but not as crazy as yesterday. That's what it looks like so far.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning to you. It is 6 a.m. on your Friday, October 27th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. We do have a developing situation in the traffic department. Let's start with Justin this morning.
And guys, this is that crash we've been talking about for the last half hour or so. This is down along I-35 on the city's south side, and we reported here that I-35 northbound was closed. You can see traffic starting to slow here, and you're going to have to go around this crash, which was reported as a rollover. The service road here, you're having to divert to the service road and then around this crash. But it is starting to cause some backups. And our Katrina Weber is there at the crash, and she has some more details for us. Katrina?
Well, good morning, Justin. I just talked to a police officer here at the scene of this crash. He tells me that it is a woman who was killed in the crash, and that's why the highway is shut down. If you look behind me, you can probably see the flashlights of some of the investigators as they're walking along. They say that this looks like a single car crash at this point. They didn't see anyone else around, but they got this call before 5 o'clock this morning, got here and found a car rolled over in the grassy median of the highway with the driver ejected from that car, and that's the woman who is dead. Police don't have any other information on her. We're not even sure what kind of car it is because we can't see it from here, but this does have the main lanes of I-35 northbound near Somerset Road closed, and that's the result. This traffic you see is the result of the closure. All the traffic being pushed onto the access road to get around this area. We don't have an estimate yet on when this will wrap up, but we do know that this investigation is active and ongoing. We'll keep you posted. Reporting live on the southwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Katrina. All right, take a look outside right now, and kind of murky conditions off in the distance. There wants to be a little bit of fog around this morning, so that's something to keep an eye on. And we do once again have a few little scattered showers. A decent downpour heading right in toward Comfort, heading up to the north there in eastern Kerr County. A couple little scattered showers here and there. We've had a few move through town, so again, just assume that the roads are going to be damp this morning. Allow yourself a little extra time. A couple of more over here by Seguin and just to the southwest of Gonzales. That's going to be the situation throughout the rest of the morning. Then we'll have some more scattered ones later on today. Visibility, 5 miles Castroville, 8 at Port SA and Stinson, 7 up the road into Braunfels. So nothing as far as like pea soup fog out there. But again, just be on the lookout for that because of all the moisture in the ground, the moisture in the atmosphere this morning. Mold is moderate, little bits of ragweed, fall elm, and grass. And throughout the rest of today, well, of course, temperatures aren't going to be going anywhere this morning. We stay in the mid-70s. Again, a scattered shower here or there. Make it up to 80 today at noon. And then once again, we only gain 9 degrees, less than 10 on average around the area. 84 for a high. Very warm, very humid. A couple of scattered. And again, not everybody's going to see a downpour, but with all this moisture in the atmosphere, you get one of those decent showers to pop up and you can get some very heavy rain all of a sudden. Going to a game tonight, I'd take an umbrella just to be on the safe side. The very latest on the timing of the big cold front moving through here Sunday, that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. To one of our top stories we've been following overnight is the ongoing manhunt for the suspect in the mass shooting up in Maine.
Law enforcement searching for 40-year-old Robert Card, who is accused of killing 18 people and wounding 13 others at a bowling alley and bar.
As ABC's Ike Ajachi reports, police have collected more evidence which could point to a possible motive.
Overnight, investigators appearing no closer to catching Robert Card, the Army reservist wanted for the deadly mass shootings in Maine. Heavily armed police surrounding a home associated with Card Thursday night. Loud bangs ringing out through the neighborhood as police shouted for Card to surrender. ABC's Aaron Katursky describes the scene.
A number of tactical vehicles and troops come in, drones, helicopters, and our reporters there heard calling out commands to say, come out. calling the suspect by his name. And the suspicion was that they may have had him surrounded.
But nearly 2 hours later, most of the SWAT teams leaving the property. Police say Card opened fire at a bowling alley and nearby restaurant in the small city of Lewiston Wednesday night, killing 18 people and injuring 13. ABC News learning Card's sister told investigators she thought her brother may have been going after an ex-girlfriend at the bowling alley. 2 counties still under shelter-in-place advisories this morning. Schools and businesses are closed as far as 50 miles from the shooting scenes.
Everybody's scared. I mean, nobody is used to having a shooter in Maine.
According to sources, investigators finding a suicide note at Card's home addressed to his son. It did not provide a motive for the rampage, but contained bank information and what are described as rantings. Card this past summer was treated at a mental health facility after reportedly hearing voices and allegedly threatening to attack a National Guard facility. It appears Card was thoughtful about eluding police. He left behind a cell phone, which authorities have recovered, but apparently Card suspected the phone would be tracked. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Lewiston.
And right now on KSAT.com, remembering some of the victims of that mass shooting. A volunteer youth bowling coach known for encouraging children, and a bar manager whose father said tried to confront the gunman and died a hero were among those killed. Authorities have not released the victims' names, but their family members have been confirming their deaths. You can read more about them on our homepage.
Back here at home, one of the largest school districts in our area could finally be getting a new school board member.
Trustees from Northeast ISD could vote on an interim member later this morning.
KSAT's John Paul Barajas reports this particular seat has been open for nearly 3 months.
That's right. Trustee Terry Williams passed away in August after a long illness. Since then, there has been some back and forth on the board over her successor. Trustees interviewed 4 candidates Monday night. KSAT Investigates has learned one of those candidates was sued by NEISD last year. Jacqueline Klein was also sued by Bexar County and the city of San Antonio, all for allegedly not paying her property taxes. Lawsuit records show Klein owed just over $8,400 in taxes, penalties, and interest when that lawsuit was filed in January of 2022. Court records show Klein was unsuccessfully served in that case in May. KSAT Investigates confirmed that lawsuit is still pending. As of Thursday, Klein has not returned KSAT's calls for comment. Klein previously ran for the single-member District 2 seat last year. She lost to Terry Williams by less than 80 votes. Sources tell KSAT Klein has the support of 3 of the board's 6 trustees, but has faced questions from the other trustees over past social media posts and her backing from a conservative political action committee. Again, Klein is one of 4 candidates interviewed. That was Monday night. Trustees met in a 2-hour executive session after those interviews, announcing the vote this morning at 8:30. The person appointed will serve until the May election unless they run and are elected. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Happening today and tomorrow, Haven for Hope is holding a fall coat drive. They're accepting new or gently used coats of all sizes for all ages and genders.
You can drop them off at Haven for Hope today or tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we have all that information at ksatcommunity.com.
And looking ahead, there's another flu shot drive coming up. You can get a free vaccine courtesy of Bexar County and University Health. That opportunity is Saturday, November 4th from 8 a.m. to noon.
Time now 6:08 and 75 degrees for now.
Still to come on GMSA, UTSA looking to stay ahead of the changing world of cybersecurity. How a new degree that's a first of its kind can help future graduates.
And after the break, a celebration of Puerto Rico is happening this weekend here in the Alamo City. What you need to know about the Festival de Puerto Rico and how you can join the celebration.
Outside with Live Cam, an update on the cold front, how cold it's going to be and when, coming up right here on Good Morning San Antonio.
Originally called Mary's Gold, the marigold is named after the Virgin Mary. But in Mexico, it's called cempasúchil, the flower of the dead. Placed on graves and used to decorate altars during the Day of the Dead, it's believed the flower's vibrant colors and strong scent can lure souls back to the living. Since they bloom in early summer and die at fall's first frost, they also symbolize the fragility of life. The name cempasúchil is Aztec and roughly translated to flower of many petals. For the Aztecs, the flower was sacred, and its bright color represented the sun. Native to the Americas, it was cultivated for decorative, magical, medicinal, and agricultural purposes. They were thought to cure hiccups and were often planted near crops. As a matter of fact, the marigold produces a natural insecticide. Once Spanish explorers discovered the hardy plant, they took the seeds back to Europe. Now hundreds of varieties grow across the globe, including India, where the marigold has become an important ceremonial flower. For Hindus, the marigold symbolizes surrender to the divine.
Welcome back at 6:13. So looking ahead, the Festival de Puerto Rico is happening on Sunday here in San Antonio.
Our Stephanie Jimenez is emceeing the event and shows us what to expect.
That's just a taste of what you'll get at this year's Festival de Puerto Rico. The event, which took a years-long hiatus because of COVID, is finally back in San Antonio.
Our theme this time is called Pa'lante, meaning onward.
Do you like live bands and salsa music? Well, this is the place to be, says Olga Custodio, Vice President of the Puerto Rican Heritage Society.
You walk in and the music's blasting and you know, as a Latino, you start moving immediately.
The all-female Latin pop band Son Divas from Puerto Rico is headlining the party. And speaking of parties, they're going to want to eat at this one.
The food, amazing. We support our local restaurants here that provide a Puerto Rican cuisine, very Caribbean type.
And then there's the art. Olga says organizers are flying in artisans from Puerto Rico to showcase their art. But the best part of the event may be the worthy cause it's supporting: education.
We take a percentage of our net profits and put it into scholarships. Last year, we were able to give over $14,000 in scholarships.
And the college students getting that money are from San Antonio. So do you have your dancing shoes ready? The Festival de Puerto Rico takes place October 29th from noon to 6 at the Shrine Auditorium.
And I know they hear our music all the time. So it's their opportunity to come out, move their hips, learn a little bit more about salsa dancing, about eating our cuisine, and looking at our art, and just making new friends.
Stefania Jimenez, KSAT 12 News.
And for tickets and more information on the Festival de Puerto Rico, you can look for this story on our website at ksat.com.
If you're just now joining us, we have big problems on the southwest side of San Antonio.
Let's go ahead and check back with Justin Horn, who's in for Stephen Cavazos this morning.
Yeah, we'll go over to the map. We'll start there because we still do have that big problem there on the south side that we just reported earlier. This was a rollover. Katrina Webber was reporting from this spot, and sadly, it does sound like it was a fatality. But this has closed down 35 northbound, and so traffic is being diverted around on the surface road here. And so it will take you a little bit longer. But so far, the backups have not been huge. But just be aware that this is still a problem spot. Police are still working this incident that came in around 5 a.m. this morning. We're also getting word of a crash here at the exit ramp somewhere near Callahan. It's coming in as two separate crashes, but I think it's one there around Fortin and Evers, actually. I think right there at the exit ramp. There is some slowdowns because of that crash. Otherwise, as we look at TransGuide, everything else looks pretty good here with some smooth sailing this morning. Fairly dry roads. We have had a shower here or there, as Mike will tell you here in a second, but not as wet as they were yesterday. And looks like the Friday morning commute, other than that incident there along I-35, going okay.
Is it weird being on the side of the desk? Is it like being left-handed and trying to write with your right hand?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we're used to seeing you
I
over
have the
here.
urge to want to talk about weather, and I'm like, I got to save that for Mike.
I understand.
So we'll talk about the school bus. See, I'm kind of stepping on your toes right now with the bus right here, and then we combine the two. Would you like to give this forecast here?
There's the bus, 75 degrees, few showers, patchy fog.
And then later on this afternoon?
84.
A couple of scattered showers here and there. We have been seeing
the teamwork is inspiring, guys.
A few more showers, and then we sit next to each other in the newsroom. Anyway, if you're heading to a game tonight, 81 at kickoff, 78 at halftime. Take an umbrella, just keep your umbrella handy. A couple of showers going to be here and there later on this evening, so it's not going to be any sort of rain. It's going to be a very warm, humid, though, evening for football. I got to give a quick shout out to the third graders over there at St. Luke's Episcopal. They invited me over there yesterday, and I'll tell you one thing, boy, they gave me a great weather lesson. They divided up into 4 groups and did research on different topics, on tornadoes and on drought and flooding. did a fantastic job. I really didn't have anything to say after that, but they were fantastic, and their teacher, Mrs. Centeno, says thank you very much for that. Great bunch of kids, really appreciate it. All right, the big front, which is coming on in here, and yeah, this kind of speaks for itself when you look at temperatures up there, up to the north. Denver is now at 27 degrees, obviously below freezing. Casper 12, 7 at Cutbank, Montana, and then you factor in the winds on top of that. So wind chill is 17 right now in Denver and -5 in Cutbank, Montana, 4 in Bismarck. So this, obviously, we're not going to be that cold, but this is all coming down in our direction. As a matter of fact, we're already starting to see some of those colder temperatures in northern portions of the panhandle right now, and this will all just kind of work its way across the country as well. So as far as we are concerned, well, just today, tomorrow, first part of the day on Sunday, warm, humid, couple of scattered showers around here. Then the front starts to work its way into the area in the afternoon hours, obviously in the hill country first, coming on down. It comes barreling through here in town right around 6 o'clock, just after that. And the wind's going to shift around in behind it. Colder air will continue to pump on in here, so temperatures are going to be dropping very quickly. Then we have a lot of rain in behind it as well. And it's going to be pretty wet, not only for the morning commute on Monday, but throughout a good chunk of the day. The nice thing is, now it's still going to be wet and cold starting off on Tuesday. Then all of that's going to move on out of here. So right now it is looking like we will be clearing out nicely for trick-or-treating. It's going to be cold though. Then the other question is, if we do clear out on Tuesday night, is that going to be enough to allow temperatures to actually dip into the upper 30s? It's going to be a very, very close call. That's here in town. And again, really clears out in the hill country. We're looking at a little bit of perhaps frost by Wednesday morning in low-lying areas of the hill country. I'm going to keep tabs on that, but only in the 40s on Monday. Wind chills down in the 30s. So again, this time, Monday morning, whole different story.
Yes. I mean, we're looking forward to some change, and wow, are we getting some change?
Gloves, hats, jackets, scarves, the whole kit and caboodle.
And you're not even kidding.
No, not for Monday morning. It's going to be cold.
Okay.
620, 75 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Type 2 diabetes?
Discover the Ozempic Trizone. I got the power of 3. I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
I'm under 7.
Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as stroke, heart attack, or death in adults also with known heart disease.
I'm lowering my risk.
Adults lost up to 14 pounds.
I lost some weight.
Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Living with type 2 diabetes?
Ask about the power of 3 with Ozempic.
Welcome back at 6:23. New details this morning about the cybersecurity field. It continues to grow, and UTSA is always working to stay at the forefront. The program began in 2001, and officials at the university say the Air Force asked the university to create more information assurance professionals, now known as cybersecurity professionals. And that was a professor for cybersecurity at UTSA. But over the past 5 years, the undergraduate and graduate cybersecurity degree programs have grown by more than 70% 5 years ago. And the program had an average of 1,200 students in it. Now it has over 2,200.
Time now, 6:24, 75 degrees.
We got there with TransGuide earlier. It looked pretty okay for the most part. Looking at 281 at the quarry, things are still moving this morning, and Highway 90 at General McMullen, usually a problem spot, looking pretty good at 624, and Highway 281 at Nakoma. We'll be right back.
This morning on GMSA, a busy weekend in sports kicks off tonight with Game 1 of the World Series. Why the Rangers need help from a San Antonio native to win the title.
Plus, as we approach the start of Muertos Fest, we are honoring those hit and killed by drivers here in San Antonio. how the cycling community and family members are using altars to honor their memory.
We had some overnight showers, but all quiet on the South Texas front this morning as we take a look at 410 out by the airport. Weekend forecast is coming up, and it's super important, especially as you get the kids ready for school on Monday. Details to come.
That's right. Things are going to change. For now, it is almost 6:30. This is Happy Friday, October 27th.
All right, thanks for starting your morning with us. Traffic is a big problem this morning, so again, it leads our newscast.
And we can see there it is along I-35 where we've had that issue this morning. And that's where we have I-35 closed at this hour because of a rollover. And Katrina Weber reported earlier, and we're going to go to her here in just a second. But as we pull up the maps once again, there's the incident along I-35. We also have another one working now along 410 near Evers. It's at the exit near Callahan, and that is causing a few issues. But so far, traffic hasn't backed up just a lot with that one. We're going to focus first, though, on this one here along I-35 again. I-35 northbound closed. Somerset Road right here. We have Poteet Jordanton Freeway here, and then the rollover here. So, again, the northbound lane's closed. You're going to be diverted to the access roads, and that will take you some time to get around. So plan accordingly if you are traveling in this area. And we're going to go back to Katrina Weber with more details on this crash.
Well, good morning. I wish I had more better news to report, but unfortunately I do not. It's all bad. The highway's still closed. The reason for that closure is a deadly crash that happened here a little bit earlier this morning. I want to give you a look at what's going on. Police still have their investigation actively going on here. It looks like we now have the medical examiner here as well. Police got this call before 5 o'clock this morning. They were told about a crash with an ejection from that vehicle, and that's exactly what they found. A woman who had been ejected from her car after it rolled over and landed in the grassy median. We haven't even been able to see the car from our vantage point here because it's down in a ditch from what police tell us. They believe this was the only car involved in the crash. They didn't find anyone else around when they got here, just the woman who had been ejected from her car. And again, they are still here with this active investigation going on. Until they complete that, the highway, the main lanes are going to be shut down here near Somerset Road. Again, northbound 35 closed, traffic being diverted to this access road. Here at least, it looks like it's flowing pretty well, but I'm sure back behind this closure, that's where the problem is for drivers as they're being forced off the main lanes of the highway to the access road. Again, we'll keep you posted on what we hear about this reopening. Reporting live on the southwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Katrina. All right, when you step outside this morning, it is warm, it's humid out there. Not bad in this picture. It does not look like 410 and I-10. There's any sort of dampness on the road, anything like that. We've only had just a few little scattered sprinkly showers around the area this morning. There was almost nothing a couple of hours ago. A couple more have popped up. We had this one spot that was a decent downpour there in Bandera County, moving up into Kerr County. It's kind of fizzling on out, but obviously if you're heading out I-10, you're going to run into some of that. A few of those little sprinkles north on 281, and even a few more well off to the northeast. But we will continue to see just a few light little showers around the area this morning, and then scattered showers, thunderstorms this afternoon. Mold is moderate, low amounts fall, elm, ragweed, as well as grass. So a couple of showers around here, and temperatures once again are 15 to 20 degrees above normal right now. We're in the mid 70s with all that humidity. Scattered rain today, warm and humid. If you're going to a game tonight, take an umbrella just to be on the safe side. Tomorrow, about the same situation, actually lesser chance for rain tomorrow, and that's going to be the case in the first part of the day. On Sunday, very warm. Then that cold front will start working its way into the area in the afternoon, moving through the hill country here in town. We're looking at dinner time, early evening, and boy, you're going to know when that thing moves on through here because it's going to be windy. The temperatures are going to be dropping like a rock. It's going to be rainy, and then Monday, cold, wet, rainy, just a raw sort of a day. What about the trick-or-treat forecast? That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. The cycling community and families of cyclists hit and killed in crashes are remembering their loved ones in a special way and also raising awareness about the problem.
Sarah Costa shows us the altars that are being made in their honor for the Dia de los Muertos festival this weekend.
His way to work, he was run over by a careless driver. He was on his bike on his way to work.
Fernando was 42 years old and had been a deputy with the Hays County Sheriff's Office for 15 years. He loved to bike, but loved his family more, taking care of all of his siblings.
He was like a father to me. He always made sure that we were taken care of.
It's why for the past several years, Amaya puts an altar together for her older brother with special care to honor and remember him, but also to raise awareness for the many other cyclists who get killed each year in our area by drivers. She isn't alone. SATX Social Ride, a bike riding group that promotes safe social riding, has also made an altar for the many members of the community that have been killed while cycling.
On average, we lose 4 or 5 people a year to cycling incidents in traffic.
The organization partnered with Hill Country Ghost Bikes, a group that makes bike memorials at the sites of crashes, to make one large altar for the dozens of community members killed while riding.
Well, we have one person who is 6 years old on up to 70-year-old people.
They hope these altars remember their loved ones, but also remind drivers to be vigilant for cyclists on the roads.
It's very important that we put a human face for the community to see who cyclists really are.
Look out for the cyclists, look out for the people walking, just so that those people don't have to go through what we're going through.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
And again, these altars will be at Muertos Fest. You can get your phone and scan the QR code on your screen. This will take you directly to our website, and there you'll find everything you need to know about Muertos Fest. And with hundreds of playgrounds across the city, one nonprofit is working to make at least one of those more accessible to the deaf and hard of hearing community.
KSAT's Avery Everett shows us what this means for deaf accessibility across San Antonio.
That's a long time coming, yeah. So it's just very special.
This playground was built with a purpose.
We designed it with has limited static electricity.
And to the team of San Antonio nonprofit Aid the Silent, it's all about accessibility for the deaf and hard of hearing community.
You know, when I was growing up, I always felt lonely on the playground. That's where I felt like I couldn't really belong or understand. I played by myself a lot.
This playground is strategically designed with deaf accessibility in mind. Like this slide, it's completely metal. That's because sometimes there's static going down a plastic slide that can wipe out the programming in a cochlear implant.
It is just amazing to me how much I've learned from this project.
Aid the Silent is one of 100 community-nominated projects across the United States. It's selected to be a part of the 2023 Lowe's Hometowns Community Impact Project. In just a couple of months, they've renovated sidewalks, created an outdoor area, and built this playground.
It made me feel like the kids have freedom to be here and have more space to have fun.
Once a 9-year-old student, now turned a 19-year-old volunteer. Aid the Silent's Kendall Warish says this playground gives young kids who are deaf or hard of hearing a place to just be called kids.
So they feel like I can't play, so this one is the best. But now they can play and they're deaf.
From the stage to the slides,
they feel beautiful now.
Aid the Silent is building a community and now a playground too. With that grant, Aid the Silent was also able to redo their walkways. They were able to make their sidewalks more wheelchair accessible. Take a look. They were able to connect the street to the sidewalks, another effort to increase accessibility here in San Antonio. Now, the grand opening for all of this is on November 15th, but if you want to help, you can head on over to ksat.com. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
The city of Seguin is one of 3 cities in the nation that just won a $75,000 grant that will go toward Max Stark Park. It was part of a program called Perk Your Park, coordinated by the National Recreation and Park Association and Niagara Bottling. A representative with the city of Seguin says it was because of the public's commitment that the community was able to win that grant. She says this will help build a brand new playground for kids of all physical abilities to enjoy.
The Spurs and Wemby back in action tonight against the Houston Rockets. Wemby's regular season debut against the Mavs was a little up and down with some highlights, but also struggles with foul trouble. He blocked a shot just 35 seconds into the game, got the crowd all hyped with a three-pointer for his first NBA points. So now come the Rockets, who San Antonio bested on NBA lottery night to grab the chance to draft Wemby. Spurs will try to rebound from their loss to the Mavericks with a win over their other in-state rivals. Tonight, tip-off is at 7 p.m. at Frost Bank Center against Houston. Both the Spurs and Rockets lost their openers, so the winner will finally be in the win column. Globe Life Field up in Arlington, all dressed up and ready to go for the 2023 World Series featuring the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's a surprise matchup for this year's Fall Classic since most baseball fans didn't have either team making it this far. But for MacArthur High School alum and former Texas Tech baseball player Josh Young, this is all a big dream come true.
I mean, yeah, growing up in Texas, this is pretty cool, pretty special. That ALCS was pretty cool too. I mean, it's always been a dream of mine to play in the World Series, potentially win a World Series. To be doing it my rookie year, to have a chance to do it is pretty crazy. The dynamic of the team from last year to this year, just crazy. Don't really know how to put it all into words. Still kind of surreal. Still have those like, hey, pinch me kind of things, but we're here and we're ready to do it.
Here's a look at the schedule. Game 2 is tomorrow night, same time. Rangers will be counting on slugger Adolis Garcia to stay hot at the plate. He set a record for RBIs in the postseason series with 15 against the Astros. For Arizona, their only other trip to the Fall Classic saw the Diamondbacks beat the New York Yankees in a 7-game thriller back in 2001.
I like Josh's interview. He seems super excited to be there.
Oh, no doubt about that.
For sure.
Right now, 6:39, 76 degrees.
And Halloween just days away. So just ahead, we're going to hear from a local ghost chaser and why he thinks ghosts really do exist.
.643, do you believe in ghosts? Whether you believe or not, one local ghost chaser has recently captured some very interesting things on camera.
That's right. Alex Arredondo from Texas Ghost Chasers spoke with our Erica Hernandez and shows us what he believes is evidence that ghosts really do exist.
For 20 years, Alex Arredondo has been chasing the unknown. As a paranormal investigator, he's always been intrigued with the afterlife and feels it has been something that he can sense. Now he's hoping to prove that ghosts exist.
That's what we try and do, is documented evidence.
Recently, newer technology like an SLS camera has helped his team, the Texas Ghost Chasers, capture some interesting evidence.
What we do is we have an SLS camera, and that maps out the spirits as stick figures. So that right there is evidence in itself.
A recent investigation of the Minger Hotel in downtown San Antonio caught what appears to be a ghost playing some music.
It was 3 a.m. So we were outside trying to pick up stuff, EVPs. So we went around to the pool area and I had the SLS camera and came across the spirit that was right there in front by the swimming pool. There was a table and he's actually playing an instrument.
This is a closer look at that video. It also appears the stick figure is tapping its foot and playing a violin.
That one was a good catch. Even the Minger staff, wow, we've never had anybody, catch that.
And he also captured this photo.
It's through the mirror and it's a man with a derby hat, like back in the 20s where they had those hats. Yes, so that was a good catch.
While this time of year is the busiest for the Texas Ghost Chasers, they have planned investigations for the rest of the year and will continue trying to prove the skeptics wrong. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
6:45.
Let's go ahead and check in with Justin Horn, who believes in ghosts, for sure, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, we got to get started here on traffic because there is a lot going on. We're starting to see some backups now. And we've got this one incident here along I-35, which is causing some big backups. Katrina Weber has been reporting this morning on this rollover. And it is starting to cause traffic to back up there along I-35 northbound because this remains closed. So you're going to be diverted along the service road here, and that may take you a little while longer to get through that intersection. We've also got a crash up along 410 near Evers. Now, this is for the exit of Callahan, and it is starting to back up traffic as well. They've been working on getting this cleared, but notice how far back this extends now, and we keep extending it further and further. So now it's back up past Ingram, and this is going to cause some big slowdowns this morning. Again, 410 as you go eastbound. We've also got our typical slowdowns here along 90, but starting to see some really slow traffic there near 1604. Very quickly, I wanted to show you 410 at Ingram, and look at that. And that is well behind the crash. So know that there are going to be some headaches, and as Stephen would say, pack your patience this morning with this kind of situation going on here along 410. And again, we still have that closure along Interstate 35 northbound, where that is closed down this morning. So a little busy on the roads, and things are starting to pick up on this Friday morning.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, it looks busy already.
Yes.
Well, if you don't believe in ghosts, you will when you see this picture.
You're looking at him. You're talking to him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look at this, Justin.
Yeah, look at
That proves
there,
it.
There they are.
Yes.
I don't know what's
I'm a
worse.
believer.
The boots, the water bottles, the sunglasses, or the bare leg. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's a great shot. This would be a great band, you know? Yeah, just need to hop on the instruments. Okay, a little murky out there. We do have a speck of fog around the area, not a heck of a lot, but just a little bit, and it almost looks as though the road may be damp. We haven't had a heck of a lot in the way of rain here in town. There have been a few little sprinkles here and there, but again, I always say kind of err on the side of caution. Just assume that that the roads are damp this morning, so allow yourself a little extra time. So we'll have a few scattered showers around here today, lesser chance tomorrow and Sunday, but then we get into Sunday night and the first part of the day on Monday. That's when rain chances really ramp up. And also take note, Tuesday, yes, rain chances, but in the morning only, if indeed they do stick around on Tuesday. So that bodes well for trick-or-treat weather. So here's what it looks like, the upper level winds. And again, where these lines are kind of moving a little quicker, these little, we call them jet streaks. And we had some on top of us yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why we had a lot of those showers and storms around the area. Now, as we go into the first part of the weekend, we're still kind of in the same situation where the cold air is up there to the north. However, that cold air continues to try and edge its way down to the south. This is upstairs in the atmosphere, and there's going to be a surface front that comes down through here, and that's what ushers in the cold air. And we still have all of this energy upstairs and kind of overrunning that cold air, so that's why we're going to continue with the rain overnight, Sunday night into Monday. And then that cold air, even though the heart of it stays well up there to the north, we are still going to have a good chunk of it in here. And it does look like we're also going to be clearing on out somewhat Tuesday evening into Wednesday. So that's really going to allow temperatures to drop down. And there's speculation we could even get into the upper 30s here in town by early Wednesday morning. Here's what this computer model looks like. Again, just the scattered variety of rain on Sunday. The front will work its way through the hill country and then in through town. Early evening, dinner time, right around there in town. Wind's going to shift around to the north. Colder air is going to move in here. We'll have rain. That's going to be overnight into Monday morning. So when you wake up Monday morning, getting ready to go to work and school, make sure you have a jacket, a rain jacket that is heavy because it's going to be cold. It's going to be blustery. We are going to have wind chill temperatures, excuse me, that are going to be down in the 30s Monday. And we will then only stay in the 40s as far as temperatures are concerned on Monday. Up until then, what we've been seeing all week long, scattered showers, 70s and 80s, but it stays very cold even into Tuesday and up to 50, 42 Wednesday morning. That's like I said, maybe a little bit on the conservative side, because if we clear out very nicely Tuesday evening, that's going to be setting us up for perfect radiational cooling. And then in behind that, temperatures, even though there's a bit of a warm up, those are still well below the normals for this time of year, only in the 60s and 40s going into the latter part of next week. So you will get use out of a jacket of various weights next
Various
week.
weights. Pull them all out to next week. Exciting.
And maybe sweaters and sweatshirts as well.
Have you thought about opening a food truck that specializes in only soup and grilled cheese?
Well, but there is a great grilled cheese
food truck
restaurant.
already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Called Benji's Munch. He's been on the show a few times.
I've
makes
heard of
great
it.
grilled cheese
I've
sandwiches.
heard of it.
Yes, indeed.
And you make your own sometimes.
Grilled cheese? Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little soup and all that stuff.
He's a bit of a connoisseur. Yeah. You went to the cordon bleu, or you have at least eaten chicken cordon bleu,
I've
right?
eaten chicken cordon bleu.
Okay.
Never attended cordon bleu, so.
Thank you, Mike. 6:51, 76 degrees.
And a reminder again, Muertos Fest is happening this weekend. So tomorrow we're going to kick things off on GMSA. So RJ Marcus will be live at Hemisphere previewing the event. And we have all this information on our website at ksat.com.
Outside with a live cam. A reminder as we go into the colder weather next week, if you can in the next couple days, go ahead and get some air in your tires. A few extra pounds per square inch to compensate for the colder weather. You don't want to do it in that chilly weather next week. We'll be right back.
All right, let's take one last look at traffic here. There are some trouble spots that are popping up, notably down along I-35, the northbound lanes of I-35, right near Somerset, Palo Alto Road. It's still closed down. We had a rollover here, and traffic is backing up there along 35 as you head northbound. Know that you're going to have to reroute around this with the service road there. In the meantime, up along 410 near Evers, the exit ramp to Callahan also blocked with a crash there, and this is backing up traffic all the way back to Ingram. So some issues there, and then also on the far west side along 90, we're starting to get some backups where we typically do some construction there. Very quickly, I want to show you some video along I-35. This is that crash we were talking about that has I-35 shut down. You can see there's still the police presence there, and they're still working on that crash. So just be aware. Mike.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, some damp roads around the area. We haven't had a lot in the way of any rain this morning. As a matter of fact, here's a look at radar right now. Just a few little sprinkly showers here and there. That's going to be the case throughout the rest of the morning, and then a few more later on this afternoon. A couple of spots where fog wants to try and form up. Keep that in mind throughout the morning as well. Mid-70s right now, mid-80s later on today, and then that big front comes through Sunday evening.
All right, we'll enjoy the 80s, I guess, over the weekend before the big change. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Have a safe weekend. Good Morning America is next.